Hello everybody and welcome to this video in which we are going to play a little bit of the Witch's Manor, which is my game that is a solo drawing and journaling RPG. And there's a link for it in the description so you can go check it out. And before we start, please leave a like in this video because it helps me a lot. And this is a video that has been requested by people since I launched this game. And I do have a video explaining how to play this game, so you can go check it out. But I didn't actually do a gameplay on that video, so we are going to do one now and see how far we can go in this game. Okay, let me get here my set of dice that we are going to use. And you also need a deck of playing cards. I'm going to be using these deck of many dungeons, which doubles as a deck of playing cards, because on the top of each one you have like the symbols and the letters and numbers. So I'm going to be using this one, and you can use any playing card deck that you have. If you don't have one, I do have here in the booklet in the game, I do give an alternative by rolling dice instead of pulling cards, so you can use that as well. But I'll be using the cards now. This is, as the title says, a drawing and journaling RPG. So I have my drawing media here, which is going to be digital. You can do that on paper, it's fine. I'm just going to be doing that digitally here because I have everything set up already, and I usually make a copy of the finished map of the finished product and I put it in my digital notes. So that's the reason, but you can totally do that on paper and photograph later, or just keep it in your notebook for future memories. Let me put these two cards here. And let's start by creating our character. We create a little witch that is going to inherit a mansion, and she has to explore the mansion as she draws each room of the mansion on the canvas, on this grid here. And you can play it just as drawing, like going through the mechanics here and just drawing what happens in each room. You can play it just as a journaling RPG, so role playing and taking your notes about it. You can just play it as an RPG. You don't have to journal, you don't have to draw, you can just play it, or you can do everything at once. I'm going to do a little bit of everything here so you know what you can expect from this game. But the idea is that in the end we have like a full 8x6 grid filled with different rooms of a magical house. And I do have, if I can show you, I do have an example here of a house that I drew in what I call a campaign. Because believe me, if you sit down to draw everything and you, as me, like to put detail on things, this is going to take you a while. So I did like a few rooms at a time, and that's how I play this game. We are going to be playing a few rooms in here so you know how the game goes, because otherwise we're going to take a lot of time. Okay, so let's start by creating our character. We have like some oracles here that can help us as we tell the story, as we advance. Let's do character creation first. So for the appearance of our little witch, which can be male, female, everything that you want, it doesn't matter. You just define what's gender, what's the hair, skin, and everything else that you feel is necessary for you to get into the character. I'm going to do that here. I'm going to say that she is a hooded witch. She has a hood that she always wear. Let me see. And the hood has like a pointy hat on it. It's like a pointy witch's hat with a little star dangling from it. I'm not going to be coloring things here because maybe I can color things here. Let me see if my blue pen works. Oh, it does. So I'm going to give her, it's going to be a girl. I'm going to give her blue hair that kind of peeks out from the hood. And you know what? I'm going to give her big blue eyes. Yeah. Let me put a little bit of detail here in the eyes. Great. She has like this big hoodie that is attached to her cloak. And I'm not the greatest at drawing hands, so we are going to just work with what we have here. She has a big moon on her shirt. And that's it. Okay, so we have our little witch. This is our character. And we have to give her 3 magic items from this list. So we roll 2d6s to do that. Let me get another one. You can just roll 1d6 2 times, but since I have more dice, I'm going to use them. Okay, so I have a 6 and a 3, which is a copper ring. So I can put here on inventory. She has a copper ring. And the idea here is that you can define a power or a type of magic for each item. So I'm going to leave a line blank so I can do that. Next, let's go to another item, 55. A dream catcher. Where does she keep her dream catcher? I'm going to say she has like a necklace. There is a dream catcher. So she has a ring and she has a dream catcher necklace, sort of. Dream catcher. And last item, again 55. No, I want something different. Come on. Okay, 43. A lucky coin. So she has a lucky coin in her pockets. Let me give her pockets on her dress, because we all need pockets on our dresses, ladies, right? And she wears a belt. Okay. So lucky coin. Great. So now you can decide in what effect each item has before you start the game, or you can go to the effects table. I have a magic effects table that is, let me find it. Here, we have this magic effects table here that you can use to define a magic for each item. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get my D20. And for my copper ring, it's a necromancy ring. You know what? Since I have color, let's do color. Necromancy. And you probably can't see it on the camera, but that's what it's in here. My dream catcher is, I think that should be sleep, but I'm number 5, it's transformation. Okay, it kind of matches with the dream kind of thing, so I'm going to keep transformation. But this is an example, like I just thought, oh, dream catcher might be a sleep magic or something like that. We do have sleeping, and I have to correct this. It's missing a G here. That's weird, but I do that later on the document. Transformation. So you can define it yourself. You can just come here, see what matches what, and use it. No roll required. I just like rolling dice, so I'm going to do that again. 7 is charming, so she has a lucky coin of charming, and my blue is like dying, so I'm going to work with black. Okay, this is good enough. Okay, so I have my items there. You can have a familiar as well. And I roll a d12 for the familiar. She has a firefly. Oh, that's cute. Let's draw a big, beautiful. Do fireflies have antennas? I don't remember. I don't think they do. Not the best firefly. I think I can do better than that, but I don't have time here in the video right now, so we're going to roll with that. She has a firefly. And that's it. This is our familiar. I'm going to call him Bugs. Bugs is our familiar. Okay, so our character has some stats that we have to keep track of. We have mana, which is mana points or MP, and we have our GP, which is gold points or gold pieces, actually. And we can use gold for various reasons, including creating some extra magic or casting magic from now on. And mana points is our own magic. It's actually a mana pool, and we start gaining mana points, which help us in combat, which help us cast magic, and all of that. So our items, they give us 1d6 mana each. So let's go to see. So I have 6 for the copper ring, 1 for the dream catcher, that's 7, and 5 for the luck coin, so that's 12, right? Yeah, 6, 6, 12. So right now we have 12 mana, but we also have mana for our familiar, and it's a d8 for him, which is an 8, nice. So 12 plus 8 is a 20, so we have a total of 20 mana at this point. And oh yeah, and the character themselves have a d10 starting mana, which is a 10. This dice set is rolling great for me today. It was a real horror show yesterday when I was playing another game, so I'm surprised. Okay, so I have 30 total mana right now, and for gold we roll 2d10s. Let me get another d10 here. And where is my, yes, d10. So I have 2 plus 3, it's 5. Not a lot of money. Yeah, that's not great, but we roll with what we have. So let's go. And I didn't give her a name. I do have a name generator here, but you can just choose a name that you want. I always put a name generator in my games because I have such a hard time coming up with names on the fly, especially like here on video. It just my brain just blocks. So I'm going to roll on this table. Let's roll. It's a d12 here. Rav 11 Ravery. Okay, I like this name. I like it. Ravery. And surname again. 2d12 is Whisper Thorn. Whisper Thorn. Okay, good. We have a name. Nice. Okay, so now we can start actually playing here. I explained more about the rules in the other video, so you can go check there to see about leveling up and stuff like that, because we're not going to get into this here. I'm going to play a few rounds to show you how the game works, and you know, just have it, just have the video for people who are a little bit unsure about some things. But on the other video, I show about levels and all the mechanics that we have here. So on the how to play here, we created the character already. Now we have to roll or choose an overall theme. And I have a theme table here. It's a D66 table, so I can roll 2 D6s, which gives me a 2-1. 21 is fairy. Okay, so she's a fairy witch. I like to put my theme here on my notes because sometimes I forget. And the idea of the theme when I created this game is to give a general like visual to the room. So when you draw in the room, let's say we roll the kitchen, I can put some fairy elements in the kitchen to make the house look a little bit fairy-like, you know, or whatever the theme is. Good, we have a theme for our house, for our mansion, and we have our grid here. It's just like this little drawing here, and we can roll a d8 to find out where we put the entrance of the house. And we start at level 1, okay? But I also can tell you, you can start at level 6 if you want to make a underground house, you know, so you would be going down the levels in the ground. So that's also a possibility, but let's start here. We start at 5, so this is our entrance here. Now let's see what is the entrance, what we can have inside the entrance room. So the entrance room, we don't roll. I have like, let me go back here. I have like rooms here, but we know that this one is going to be the entrance, so we just have to roll like in features or in objects to populate the room with whatever we want. If you don't want to roll, you can just come up with the ideas. Like I always say, you do everything that you want to do. Nobody is going to knock on your door to investigate if you're playing right, in big quotations, right. There is no right or wrong way to play. So for my entrance, since we go levels up, I usually like to put like an stairs or something like that. But let's roll here to see what we have inside. But one thing I forgot was our cantrip. So we made the character, right? Yeah. So each day we have cantrips that we can use. We are not right now at level 1, so we can have one cantrip to like use, and I have here 10 possible cantrips. You can roll a d10 or you can just choose one. Since we are already here with a lot of dice, I am going to roll a d10 because I like rolling dice, as we already established. This is number 2. So I have an invisible shield that saves me from half the damage I would take, but it costs 3 gold pieces to cast. So let me put here my cantrips or spells. You can also call them spells. Cantrips. My invisible shield that costs 3 gold pieces and half damage, so I know what's going on. Okay, I can cast these as many times as I want in the day, but I have to spend, you know, the amount of money that is needed for that. So that's why it's good to find money on rooms, which we are going to do. We have here, like, the cards are going to help us on that. And I hope everything's showing up on the camera. Okay, let's draw the entrance room. Let me see, what do we have inside the entrance room? Let's roll for features. The difference here between features and objects is that the features, they carry some magic with them. So you can roll in the features and then you have to roll for magic effect. So each feature comes with a magic effect associated with it. Okay, and for objects, you can choose like color and material as well if you want, or you can just draw the object. I'm going to roll for one feature, although I have mechanics here that let you decide on how many like features you can have inside the room. But I'm going to roll for this one. It's D66. Oh, 66. A vine swing. How awesome. Okay, so let's draw on number 5 here. Great thing about digital media as well is that you can zoom and you have like a better view and more space to work with. Okay, so we have a vine swing that is going to be hanging from the ceiling, I assume. So let me block off the ceiling here. And I can use many different pens in digital. So okay, I'm going to yeah, I'm going to put like some leaves in here to indicate that we have a vine swing. And you can take as long as you want on drawing your rooms and your features. I'm trying to be as fast as I can here just because I'm recording a video for you guys and I don't like editing videos, so I usually post my videos without any editing at all. So that's the only reason, but you can just go crazy if you want to. Just do some wooden pattern here to kind of look more like a natural swing. Okay, so I have my vine swing. And the magic effect that is in this swing, what is it? Oh my gosh, my dice went flying away. Let me get another one. It's a 4. Levitation. Now, the levitation magic that is in the feature, this magic effect, it can be something that affects my character, something that either gives her damage or puts her to sleep or something like that. And this comes out of her mana pool. However, depending on the magic effect here, it's just a little magic effect that she faces. So like levitation, it's not going to hurt her unless she's dropped down, you know? So we can kind of do something in terms of looking at the oracle. What is my oracle here? And define if this magic, this levitation drops her down or not. Another mechanic we have for each room is to, here, we pull the cards, you know, like we have like a little bit before, but this depends on going to new rooms. Since we are in the entrance, I would pull a card. So let me just shuffle my deck. Okay, deck shuffled, pull the card, and we look. We have the Queen of diamonds, yes. Sorry, I'm trying to translate from Portuguese. Gold, yes, it's here. This means we collect gold. So in this room, we collect gold. How much of gold? Oh, the Queen is a special card, so we have to look to the card. So if it's a number, we collect that amount of gold. But if it's like a ace, a jack, a queen, or a king, we have special effects. For the queen, we pull the next card and do the most desirable. We either double or halve the number. So pulling the next card, we have a 4 of hearts. Why do I say double or half? Because some things imply that we are going to have to face a magic trap, which can give us damage on our mana pool. So in this case, the most desirable would be to half the number. But since we are collecting mana, we are going to double because it's more desirable to have double the mana. So since it's a number 4, it goes up to a 8, and we have now 38 mana. Okay, good. That can help us in the future. And we had a magic effect here. So as I said, the levitation magic effect can be faced in a few different ways. You can face it just as a fun, cute magic effect and develop like the role playing here. So Raveri would be entering the room and she feels attracted to these vine swing because it's cute and she's a fairy witch. So she comes up and of course she wants to try the swing. I'm not even going to roll in the oracle because if you go to someplace magical and you see a vine swing, wouldn't you just sit down and give a little bit of a swing in it? Of course you would. Of course you would. If you're saying you wouldn't, I don't want to be your friend because you don't know how to do things. Okay, so she would try it and then the magic effect would, you know, perform on her and she would be levitated like from the swing up. What I would look in the oracle for would be like, is she dropped or not? So I would roll my d20 to see if she's dropped, which is a 2. No, and so she isn't dropped and she actually have fun on that. It's actually a fun thing to do. So that's how I would role play things on this particular thing. Another way to do that would be turning it into a combat, but that's a lot more complicated. I prefer using the oracle for that case in particular, and leaving like the magic combat effects and stuff like that to when we pull a card that requires combat or that is a magic trap or something like that, you know? Okay, good. So coming back to the workflow here of the game. So we started at line 1, we made our entrance room, and we can explore the adjacent rooms. Uh, Whenever we want to move to another level, we can draw like a little stairs or a rope to climb on, whatever you think it's appropriate for your house, you can do. And for each turn, we are going to decide in which direction we explore. You can roll a d4 for that if you want, or you can just choose a direction. And then you roll on the room table, which is here, to find out what is in the next like little square in the next room. Also, you can optionally roll a d4 to define the number of sections. So let's say we go to one side. Actually, we're going to play that, okay? We're going to play that. We're going to go through that. So we decide the room, we roll for the room, and then we pull a card to see what happens inside the room. We can either collect mana, collect gold, face a magic trap, or face an encounter, which means a combat with some magical creature or magical monster. All card values are multiplied by the grid floor. Since we are on level 1, I didn't have to do anything because it's multiplied by 1. When we go to level 2, we multiply the number by 2, and so on and so forth. And we can draw and journal and role play and mix and match the different possibilities that we have in here. Okay, so that's the workflow. So we choose a place to go, we define what's in there, we pull a card, and then we just role play and make the mechanics happen. Okay, so let's move on to, we already chose the theme, it's a fairy theme. So let's continue our entrance here just so we can finish. So it's a fairy house. So I would say that to complement this vine swing, I would put like a tree on the side here, a tree that goes up to the ceiling, like the branches go up to the ceiling, like so. And that tree is kind of attached to the wall in the side. And maybe there is a little bird house in here. Let me put some texture on the tree. And again, I'm trying to be as fast as I can here, so excuse my drawing skills. They are way better than these, I promise you. I just want things to go on. As you can see, simple lines, they already give like a vibe to the thing. I think this is fair enough. We can even put like some butterflies around here. I think butterflies are a fairy thing to have. So we can give that like thematic feel to this house. Okay, good enough for the entrance room. I would actually even put like a welcome sign in here, maybe. By the way, just because I know people are going to ask, this app that I'm using it's called Concepts. And it's a vectorial drawing app for iPads, iPhones, Android, Windows, a lot of places you can find it. It has text, so I don't know why it's not letting me add the text. Yeah, that's weird. So I'm going to just draw it. Okay, so we have like our little welcome sign that is going to be like attached to the tree. How cool is that? Okay, entrance room done. Let's explore more. So what side do we go to the right or to the left? I'm going to stay on the first level. Let's go to the left. Explore what's beyond this tree here. Okay, so let's roll for the room that you going to find in this space here. And yeah, the optional mechanics that I told you about before is you can roll a d4 to define what's the size of the room. It's just 1 square, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Oh, it's just one. But let's imagine I took a tree, for example. I could do it like this. I could do it going up. I could do it like an L here or here. You decide how you spread the space. They just have to be attached to be like the same room, you know? But I got a one, so it's just this little space here that is going to be what? 17. Hall of Oddities. Oh, that's nice. Okay, let me block off the ceiling again. Okay, a Hall of Oddities. What do we have in a Hall of Oddities? One thing that comes to my mind, just, I don't know, it's because I put the butterflies here, but you know those like antique frames that have bugs like preserved on them? I think about that, so I would put one of those here. And this is just me going off of my brain right now. So on role play, Ravari would be curious about this tree. She could explore this tree, and there's a possibility for role playing. And again, you have oracles for whatever you don't have tables or anything else, so you can roll here to see if she wants to explore more the tree, or roll in the details table to see if she finds something on the tree. So just for fun, let's check. So I got a 6 and a 7. A little boat. Okay, so how can we incorporate a little boat in here? Maybe this boat is carved on the tree and there is some story to be told about this boat. Maybe there's a carving about like past adventures that involve this little boat that is carved in here, that is also in the story, is also carved on the tree. So you can tell that story. That would be fun. But moving on to the kitchen, that was just an example of what we could do. Okay, so we oh, it was not a kitchen. Why am I thinking about kitchen? It was a hall of oddities, and we are going to have a big frame of bugs preserved on the wall. And I also think that's a fairly fairy thing. You know, like to have a reminder of bug friends. It can be also a frame of different leaves. That's also fun. And of course I'm going to make the frame wood texture because yes, right? Okay, that's good enough. And we can put like a little butterfly on one side, and she has like a little tag about her. We can put a tiny little bug on the other side. Maybe we can have a dragonfly. Oops. On one side, a big butterfly here. Let's put a little bit of a vermin or something on the sides. And you know those like furry bugs that you find in plants? Let's put one of those there. And maybe we can have a tiny little bee, if that even looks like a bee, I don't know. Okay, and that's just coming off of my brain, but again, you have like the features in the room. Oops, this is not the correct dice. This is the correct dice. So let's put a feature in this room. 55. Flying objects. That fits very well with a hall of oddities. But what flying objects can we put in this room? Oh, this is a D100 roll. We can have a 96, which is a pitcher. So we have a pitcher flying. And one thing I'm thinking about now is a pitcher could very well be watering some plants. So I could have like a big vase here with some magical plants that are just being magically watered by our pitcher. If you love the idea of drawing, as I do, my tip for you is using different sized pens and brushes, because you can have like the line difference that really makes a difference on like the final product, because the thicker lines and the thinner lines for the details, it just makes a difference. Okay, so we have like magic flying objects, and I don't think we need to add any magic effect besides the flying of them. We put one flying object. Let's put another one. That's a 20. So a towel. We have a flying towel. Okay, what I'm thinking about now is we have a towel, a flying towel that thinks she's a ghost. So I'm going to put like the towel here, pretending to be a little ghost. And I'm going to put some texture in it just to kind of say that this is a towel and not just like a little piece of cloth. And I'm going to put a cute face on the towel. Okay, so we have a flying towel there. And once you have drawn things, you can, go for the cards. I got a 6 of gold, so she finds 6 more gold there, which brings our gold to 11. And role play, like, what does she feel when she finds like the plant? Does she get curious for this water? I think Raveri would be curious for the water, and she would try to like touch or feel the water to see what's happening. So I'm going to ask the oracle, is there something special about this water when she touches it? A 2, no, nothing special, no, and I'm going to say no, there's nothing special, and the water is not normal water, it's not clean water, it's kind of hot and a little bit dirt, so she kind of leaves her hands like all dirt, all messed up. That's a possibility. You can also go for the magic route and something happens to her hand, like some damage or some magic effect takes on her hand. So we could ask the oracle, oh, does some magic effect happens to her? I'm going to say this is 11, although it was a little bit cocked, but 11, yes, but. So the yes, but would be for me, yes, something happens, but it's nothing like harmful. I am though going to roll on the magic effects to find out what magic effect could be. Or since we already know that yes, but, yes, it happens, but it's nothing harmful, I could choose just something that it's not harmful, like it's just an ice magic. She got like her hand got a little bit frozen and she takes it away very fast and nothing happens. That could be a possibility. Or we could just roll like a 9 and it's a cursing effect. So the magic in the water tries to curse her in some way. Which we could add another effect like curse as getting her hands freezed or burnt with hot water or something like that. So this is a possibility for the role play part of things. Or if you don't want to use like the magic effect, you can use the details table and find out like anything that happens. Let's see an example here. 9 and 3. So 9 and 3, it's a map with an X in it. You probably can't see, but let me get close. Like there's a little X on the map. So what I would say in this case is when she puts the hands there, and I'm interpreting this more abstractly. So if it's a map with an X, it's kind of a map of a treasure. I'm going to say that she has a vision where to find something. What is something? An object, I think, would be. And I would roll on the random objects table, which is 9-3, which is a banner, which can be interpreted like a parchment, like banner, or like a piece of paper, or even a banner with a real map, which kind of fits perfectly here. And we can give a magic effect to this banner to justify her having this like this experience, you know. So let's see, this is a 9, so it's a cursing which we got before. So she got a cursing, so it's like a script, a scroll with a magic curse. And you can define in which part of the house this thing is by rolling on the rooms, but we don't have anything like built yet. Or we can roll like a d8. What is my d8 here? A d8 and a d6 to find out the exact square where she sees that that magic item is, which is 5 and 4. So a 5 and a 4. So it's on the 5th room on the 4th floor. And we can take note of it. Whenever we get there, we go to find that specific item, you know. Or you can just jump around and go directly there and try to find that item. But I think that kind of makes the story get a little bit confused, because you're going to be passing through other rooms before getting to the 4th floor, you know. So you would actually see those rooms. So you could play seeing those rooms as you go up to the 4th floor and then go directly to the one that you want to go. Or you can just keep moving, and then when you get there, you play out this part. So the possibilities are endless. You can do whatever you want. So that's what I did here. And I think that's it. For now, we played with the effects, we pulled our cards, we kind of saw some examples of how to role play it. Let's move a little bit more. I'm going to make one more room and then we, you know, stop, because I think that gives you an idea of how things happen. I am hoping to find like some combat or some trap or something to show you how it works. So let's see. The next room is going to have how many spaces? 2. I got a 2. So I'm going to keep going this way. So I'm going to get those 2 squares here and say that it's a room. Actually, let's see which room is it, and then I decide how I'm going to go about it. I found a crypt. Ooh, yeah, I think this can be an interesting development for a crypt. So let me block off the ceiling so I know where I'm drawing for this one. And I would go for the vampire-like thing and put like a big coffin here. On this one. Wait. Okay. So we would have like this big coffin, and my line is very wobbly. But I would also put like maybe a shelf with, you know, those cremated remains vases and stuff like that. I would put those and like have some decorated pieces. So we kind of have like a crypt representation here. And of course I would be drawing throughout the 2 rooms, but let's see what features we have in this room. You can also roll d4s to decide how many features you want to put here. I have been putting just one, but it's up to you. 19, oh, it's a d66 for features, sorry. So 51, an open grimoire. Oh, that's interesting. Actually, I could put like a structure here that is going to be housing a open, huge magic grimoire. And I would like make these sides black. And of course, we would put some writing on it. And we are in a fairy kind of thing. So what could be fairy-like to put in here? Maybe we can put like a little reference to, let me, just a little reference to a fairy body, like fairy anatomy. You know, I think that kind of fits the Crypt vibe. So we have like fairy anatomy, grimoire for like the dead fairies that are in there and something like that. What magic effect does this feature has? Here. A 15 water effect. Huh. How do I put a water effect in here? I would say that these things, these like grimoire thing would be, oopsies, that would be on a like base. There is kind of a water, like a water fountain that you have at parks sometimes. I would say that it's something like that. You have water on the bottom, and as she approaches, the water kind of reacts around it and do something to her, maybe. So let me see. What does that water effect do something to Raveri? 7 is no, it doesn't do anything. It's just magic water flowing around. Interesting. Nice. So that's how I would go about it, and I would like describe on the role play that she flips through the pages and find more information about fairy anatomy and how to like cremate remains of fairies and bugs and animals, and how to properly like store and grieve and all that stuff. The grimoire has all that stuff about fairies. Okay, so this is basically how I would be playing this game. Let me just show you an example. Oh, we didn't pull the card, right? Yeah, let's pull the card. So we get, oh nice, we get a 2 of, and this is a trap, right? Yes, a magic trap. So we get a 2 magic trap, and we are on level 1, so it's multiplied by 1, and the magic trap has a magic effect on her, right? So let's go here. So some room will have magic traps. To save from the magic trap, we roll a d100, and if we roll equal or below 50, it means that we saved from the trap. If we don't, we didn't save, so we take like that damage. So let's roll our d100, which is an 85, so we didn't save. So we have to take the damage, and the damage is going to be based on the effect of that magic trap on her when she was inside that room. So we can define here what's the magic effect that had there. You can also choose. So it's, since she is in a crypt, I would choose necromancy because, man, that just makes sense. But let's roll just for the fun of it. A 9, which is a cursing, which is also fitting for a crypt kind of thing. And I want to populate more like coffins and stuff in here, but this is just an example. So it's a cursing trap, and she didn't save, so she takes 2 mana damage. So I would go here on my mana pool, that is 38 right now, that becomes 36. So she loses 2 mana. This mana she doesn't recover, really. So yeah, that's it. And remember, we had 2 spaces for the crypt, so we take 1 card for each space. So I would get now, oh nice, exactly what I wanted to show as an example. So now we have an encounter with a 4. Again, level 1 multiplied by 1 is just the 4. So for encounters, if we come here, we trigger a combat. So we're going to have a creature in that room, and the goal in the game is that you reduce the mana amount of that creature to 0, which means that you win the combat. Think about the mana pool as hit points, if you're familiar with the other other RPG games. So we want to reduce the monster or the creature to 0, so we win, which means that we tame the monster, and now it recognizes as their master in that mansion, and we don't suffer any more damage from them. So I do have here more information about the combat. So the creatures cannot be killed. I explained everything that I just said to you in here. And the damage, it's like we go, each one has a d20 roll, so it's a contested roll. So let's say this is Ravari and this is the creature, which we are going to roll for now. Let's roll first. I got a 14, so one for a harpy. So I would draw a harpy in here. Wait, why did I? Okay, so I would draw a little harpy flying here, role play how Reverie finds that harpy. Maybe the harpy was sleeping behind the grimoire and she saw Reverie coming close because the waters started reacting to her, and then the harpy started trying to attack with her claws, attacking Reverie. I have a magic for the creature here that we can also roll on to find out what type of magic this creature has. Oh, poison, perfect. So she tries to claw Reverie with poison, and it's a contested roll. So Reverie is this one, and this one is the harpy, and we see who wins on this one, who gets the highest value, which is the creature. So the creature gets the highest value. So I'm going to say that the creature noticed Reverie coming in because of the reaction of the water. So she managed to attack first and actually can damage Reverie. And the damage is a d10 mana draining. So it's a 3. So Reverie loses 3 and go to 33 mana. These creatures, they have the amount of mana from their cards. So I just put it here. So it was 4 times the level. So level 1, pretty easy, just multiply by 1. So she has only 4 mana. So it's quite easy for Reverie to get an attacking. If she gets an attacking, it's probably going to be easy to finish this monster. So let's try another roll. So yeah, 15, now Reverie can attack. So for role-playing and narrative purposes, I would go through my inventory or my familiar. I could use it too and decide what attack is this that I managed to make. Maybe I used my necromancy ring, which would be great on the crypt. That's why we could manage to get the attacking, because we are in a place that aligns with the magic energy of our copper ring. And then Reverie dealt 5 points of damage, so she actually took the creature down. And I designed these to be like the creatures are not killed, they are tamed. So she tamed the creature go back to sleep and now recognize that she is the new owner of the house, so she doesn't attack Reverie anymore. So that's how I would play that, and also the trap part that we saw here that she didn't manage to save from. And again, I didn't do a lot of the narrative on the trap part, but it would be just like this. I would come up with a way. Oh, the trap comes from like the coffin or whatever and attacks Reverie in such way, and she tries to defend but she can't, and she takes a little bit of damage, things like that. Now for the gold, I showed you before that we had the cantrips, right? Right, where are my cantrips? Here, the cantrips. Each cantrip has an amount of gold associated with it, and you can change cantrips each day. So when the day turns, you can choose a new cantrip, but you have to respect your level. So level 1, you have 1 cantrip. Level 2, you have 2 cantrips, okay? And pay attention to when do you level up in here, okay? So when I finish level 1, it means that I have level 2. It doesn't matter in what part of the house I am. Finished drawing all the level 1, I am a level 2 witch player, you know? So that's how you use gold. But also, there is another mechanic that I think I put here in the back for using your mana points for for using your gold points to generate more mana if you're out of mana. And or maybe I took that out in a newest edit of this game. Yeah, I probably took it out after some playtests. But before I was putting mana as a way of recovering, gold as a way of recovering some mana points. But that's not happening anymore, so forget what I said. So that's how it would go. And what else do I want to let you know before we move on? I have an example. This was my latest playtest here in the back. Yeah, I think that's it. And remember, narratively, you can use your familiar on attacks. You can use your items on attacks. You just have to explain how that happened to win a combat or to face a magic trap, a magic effect. So you saved from a magic effect. How did you do it? Maybe it was by using your lucky coin. It's a lucky coin, so you can come up with a way that helped you survive or save from that magic effect. Some important things here are on the progression. You can explore 3 rooms per day. So we did the entrance, we did this audit hall, and we did the crypt right now, okay? And I consider a room like the full room, even if it's 2, 3, 4 squares, okay? So just to be clear on that. So we explore these 3 rooms here. So this is a day, and we go to the next day. On the next day, you can memorize a new cantrip and start the day again. And you have 1 mana per day. So the day changes, which means like you rested basically. So we got 1 extra mana. So from 33 we go to 34 here for this day. If I finished like my level 1 and I am level 2, it means that I get 2 extra mana points per day, and so on and so forth. So this is what I do, but you can explore more rooms per day. That is done with some cantrip here, so you can choose a cantrip that allows you to do that, so you can explore a little bit more. But there is also the possibility that you are under some magic effect that lowers your exploration speed. Like if you get under a sleep effect, you don't explore as much, and these things are explained as the effects come up in here. Okay, so this is it. We played a short session here with me more explaining how I would play it, but I hope that helped the people that had some questions about it. If you still have some questions or suggestions, because it might not be perfect here, it might not be perfectly balanced or ideal, so you can totally give me suggestions and I can look into it to improve the playability of the game. You can leave them on the comments here, or better yet, you can go to the itch.io page and leave a comment there, because that helps me a lot to tell the platform that the game is being loved, you know. And remember to rate the game there. If you got the game, remember to go there and tell how much you like it, and just evaluate what you think about it, because that's really helpful. And like this video as well. Okay, so I hope to continue this discussion with you in the comments, and maybe I can bring more gameplays of these and other games to you. Okay, bye bye.